Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Volcano AC, and in this episode I will go over the song page in StudioOne 6 Artist version. It is essential to understand this page before we start recording, to have a smooth recording experience and to use our time efficiently. In a previous episode, I went over StudioOne Artist version start page and showed how to set up your device session block size, the sample rate, and the bit depth. Link to that video in the description below. Also, if you are looking into how to install a second license of StudioOne in a second device, check the link in the description below. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, and we are here in StudioOne at the song page, and this is exactly where we left in our previous episode. Remember that I show you how to add tracks at the very last second, but we're gonna repeat that. And what I did in that video was I just pressed the letter T, and there it goes. It brings here the add tracks box where you can choose to add some audio or instruments or automation or a folder. So we're gonna do audio, and we can also pick the color. Unless you want auto color, then you do like that. So let's do kind of green right there, and we're gonna do two at the same time, and there we are. One is gonna be the guitar number 1, and the other one is going to be guitar number 2. Now, if we want to change that, just double click over there, and I want to make this a vocal, so I'll do that. If I want to change the color because it's a different thing now, it's not a guitar, I can just do a red, for example, and I can still go back to this one and change for like a light blue, or I can do it purple. All right, so let's see what we have going on here. This will be one track, and this will be another track, and this is the track number with its corresponding color. So first you're gonna find the mute button over there, so it's right here, and then you'll find the solo button as well, and then you have the record and arm buttons. So the one on the right is the arm, and the one right next to it on the left of it is the record, and when you press both together is when you can start recording. You can see that my microphone is coming in, so you can just monitor right there your signal. If the signal is too loud, then you're probably gonna clip, which means it's gonna have certain distortion, and you don't want that. Believe me, you wanna be about between half and 3/4, really not half, a little bit more than half, but about 3/4. Don't get too close to the top of the level meter here because you don't want to distort your recording. All right, now you see that now we don't see the signal anymore, and we will have a guitar. Then I will do this one, but why is not catching my voice right now? Look at this, is going to the left input where I have connected the microphone, and here it is connected to the right input of my audio interface. But if I change that, you will see that the sign is gonna come there. 1, 2, 3, there it goes. But I'm gonna be using this microphone input of my Studio 24C audio interface for the guitar. So I can just click there, and it deactivates both of those. This is gonna be guitar, so I'm just gonna delete the number 2 right there. And remember, if you wanna delete something, or in this case redo, because I deleted the number 2, then you can just click Ctrl Z, and it puts the 2 back. And also that can be very useful when you're recording. You need to delete anything, then you can do Ctrl Z, and whatever was your last move, then it's gonna be deleted. Okay, So now that we have two tracks, let me explain something else. This little circle over here is telling us that this is a mono track, but I can insert a stereo track. This is also a mono track, the guitar one. So now to insert a stereo track, I can go up here and click on Add Audio Track Stereo. There you go. Or you can just press T in your keyboard like we did with the mono tracks and select Insert Stereo Track. Now look at the stereo symbol. It has two circles, one open and one closed, and the stereo track is useful for when you want to record like a synthesizer and you want to bring it in stereo. Then you will need to use both inputs on my audio interface, left and right. So that's how it looks. So again, I'm going to do Control C because I'm not using right now my synthesizer. So we're just going to keep it as what it is right now, vocal and guitar. I'll go back and delete number 2. And actually, the guitars, I like to have it kind of orange. Vocal, I like to have it in green. The mix option here open up, but let me close it because I have to explain that first. All right, so before we go any further, let me come down here and explain a little bit of what we've got going on. We have the stop, the play, the record. This is for a loop. Let me record something really quick. So I'm gonna arm over here. You see my signal. Now you will start looking at the waveform. Now that this is over there, I'm gonna do recording for the tutorial in StudioOne. All right, it is a little bit low my volume, but for this demo that's fine. You can increase the volume right there if you wanted to, for example. But basically what you can do, and I can press on the record button and deactivate record and arm. What you can do if you want to listen to that on and on, then you will activate and press play down here. Oh wait, the playhead is past the loop, sending it back, recording for the tutorial in StudioOne. But this is what it does. It goes to the end and it's actually goes back and forth, as you can see right here. Recording for the tutorial. Okay. StudioOne. So that's what you could do with this loop area, and then I just show you that it turns on here with the recording. But of course you need to arm first. You can go back like that. You can stop while it's playing, for example. And then something that is also important is if you want, for example, a metronome, you can turn it on right here and we will have it activated when I start the actual real song recording. And there's a way to change the settings of your metronome, and it is by clicking here. It went to the other screen, so I had to bring it back. But basically here with the metronome, you have the accent, noise or sound. I think it comes standard as a click, but I like it on the clave setting, and then the rest are clicks, and you will hear how those go. So just by doing that, that records that option. And you also can have a pre-count in case you would like to have a bar or so for before it actually start recording. So it gives you time to prepare for that. And there's some other options that we're going to explore later, but I'm just going here with the most important ones. Right down here, you have the timing of the song is set 4/4, but you can change that as well. And right here, you have the tempo. I have it at 120. So just by clicking over here, I can make it, for example, 140, or I can make it 90 just by writing 90 over here, like that. And also you can see here, I can meter the level of the recording that I will have in case I will be actually really recording something. So anyways, continuing here at the bottom, You have the edit. For example, if I would like to come and edit anything, right here, I could make this smaller, this recording, or make it full size. Or if I want to decrease the volume, I could do that as well. Or I could do less volume as originally it was, and you can tell you the dBs right there that I am moving around. If I want to do a cut, I could cut right here, for example. Well, that's a bad spot to cut. But I could cut right there, for example, you see, and then if I want to drag that somewhere else, I could just use the arrow and bring it over here, for example, or over here. That's another option right there. Or if I want to mute, then I can do this, and now this part is not going to play. If I want to mute, then I click back. All right, so now let's say I want to erase this part, then I do that. Actually, that's not what I wanted. Control Z, it comes back. I wanted to delete the left side, then I click there, but actually I don't want that either. Control C as well. So that's just some of the functionalities that we can use over here. If I'm not happy with anything I did over there, I just go doing my Control C, and you see it's back to the original as it actually was. So that's the edit function. There's more things that we could do over here, but I'll keep it simple for now. Then we have our mix. In the mix, here is the section where we could add plugins. For example, if we will add a compressor, it will be right there. Like in the case we would like to add some reverb, then I could click on the plus and add an effects channel right there, and then I could add my reverb over here, and I can control how much of this signal I wanted to go into the reverb. But we're not going to do this right now. I'm just showing you what it has. And then you can also increase or decrease volume here in these virtual faders. Or if you want to be right where you started, you just click over here and put 0. Or if you want plus 5 dBs, then you do that. If you want minus 3 dBs, you can do that as well. And if you want to pan to the left, for example, this guitar, then you can do like that. Or if you prefer it pan to the right, then you can just double click right there. And look, it goes all the way here, okay? So if you want it dead center, then what you can do is just type smaller than C, then C larger than, or just double click in the center. And it goes down into the center as well. Right here on the right in this mix area, you can see that you can have your master volume for the entire mix once you have everything recorded. And you can insert also, for example, mixing or mastering plugins over here, and you can meter your volume right here in post, but we're not going to do that either in this video. In the browse section, you can actually search for instruments, and I'll probably be loading this in my next video, in the next part of the tutorial, because it's the one that comes with StudioOne. Or you can select some effects if you want reverbs, or I have a bunch of the universal audio plugins, as you can see. So we might use some of those in the recording time. Or if you have loops, then you can look for your loops. Or if you have files as well that you want to load. The cloud I don't use so much. I don't shop a whole lot here. And this pool, I've never used it, to be really honest with you. So I'll just close it up. And just to finalize this video, because it's getting a bit long, let me show you where you can choose if you want it to be 116 or 132, or how you want the counts over here. You can change right there, 164, 16, how you want to quantize, in case you have, for example, some MIDI files. Then, and we're going to get into that later in the series of tutorial, but not today. But this is very helpful for when you have MIDI files, because then you can snap things to the exact grid, and it makes your beat really right on par. The bars, that is when you're recording music, like I mentioned, you can choose here how you want it. If you want to have it at 132s or 116s or 8s, I usually go for 116s. But when I'm recording a voiceover for a YouTube episode, then I like to go in seconds because it shows me how many seconds or minutes I have recorded, and it keeps me on track to try to have it in less than 10 minutes, my video. And then look at this in the slider here at the bottom right. You can actually go ahead and see a lot of minutes. Actually, you can see 1, minute 2, minute 3, minute 4, minute 5, and so on, depending how long your recording is going to be. You can actually move it. If I want to start here in this minute, I can do that. I can bring it back as well. So that is important to know. The snap, that's basically for whenever you are moving things around. Where do you want it to snap? So I have it to snap to the grid. So I try at least to be right on par with the grid. Of course, that's hard, but I try to. And just to finalize, let me show you another trick, and it is pressing letter E, and basically it expands the region of your recording to the maximum possible as you keep clicking or tapping, I should say, the letter E. And something that it will be extremely important for you to know right before we finish here this episode. I promise this is the final part. You go to this hamburger over here and you click on marker, and you will see you have a start and an end. So I will just click the letter E to zoom in, but first let me drag this all the way to here. So now I will press the letter E to expand, and I can bring this to this second number 5. For example, if I would like to export this, I could move and position exactly where I want it to go. For example, if I wanted to export from here to here, right there, then only that portion will be exported. How to export? Then I will go to the song area over here, and I will say export mixdown or Control E. All right, so let me do Control E. Here it is. And this is the area in which I can choose how I want it. If I want my export on WAV file, if I want to change the name, it gives me the location, just making sure that's where I want it to be recorded. If I don't want MP3 file, then I can click that away, and whatever we want to do. And this is the part I wanted to check out, which is it's going to export between the song start and the end marker. That's the one I always use, so I have 100% control where is it going, which basically it's over there. Or you can do just between the loop. If you want to just loop down, if you want to loop that, I have to close this first like that, and then these markers wouldn't matter for the export. So we're not gonna get into all the different aspects of exporting, but I just wanted to show you how are we gonna do that in a later video. Okay, so I'm gonna cancel because we're really not gonna be exporting anything. We're not going to be using my voice right there. All right, so we have been able to go over basic but very important components of the song page in StudioOne Artist version, and we're getting closer to be able to start our recording. In our next episode, I'll be starting a drum loop so that we can, in a following video, start our guitar and then our vocal recording for our tutorial song. All right, so if you like this video, don't forget to smash the like button, and for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.